Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, I'm going to be showing you guys something incredibly spooky that happens if you get on the inside of the Sisika Penitentiary's secret underground basement. So that's probably the first thing we're going to have to do today is how do we get inside of Sisika Penitentiary. As you guys know, this jail is really only used for about 1 or 2 missions in game. It's where John Marston is kept for a bit and you ultimately have to break him out. But for the entirety of the game, it's on an island similar to like an Alcatraz, and it's also like an area that you cannot go to. Like you instantly are wanted dead or alive as soon as you step foot on the island. So I guess you could say that step number 1 today is getting to the island itself. Now there are many ways in which you can go about doing this. You can use a boat, or you can just, give your horse some stamina injection and you can just ride across the water. Either way, it really doesn't matter as long as you just get to the shore of the facility. Now, I do not know who the original founder of this was. I saw this posted by another user, Edepot. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing their name correctly. I'll leave a link to their video in the description. I was following the same method that they used, and if I can do it, I know that you guys can as well. So once you've made it to the Sisika Penitentiary, you want to make sure you have a couple of cheats installed. This is going to be the only way in which you can do this, and it makes it incredibly easy. So a lot of the cheats that I were using were decrease wanted level, infinite ammo, and also create wagon. I'll actually leave a link to a cheats page in the description, so if you want to take a look at it for yourself, you can. The following codes are the one you're going to need. Infinite ammo is abundance is the dullest desire, so that one's pretty simple. Refilling all bars for health, stamina, and deadeye is you flourish before you die. That one's a pretty useful one too. Spawning a wagon is keep your dreams simple. You're going to need that one. And then decrease wanted level is you want freedom. So you're going to need to use those to really help yourself out here. So once you've made it to the island, you're going to notice that there is a lot of guards shooting you, and there's really no way to avoid this. In fact, the only way in which you can lessen this is to engage in a couple of firefights, kill guards as quickly as you can, and then every time you do that, decrease your wanted level. If you're doing this successfully over and over and over again, you'll notice that the guards will stop spawning and they will stop engaging on you, which is exactly what has happened here. So once you've gotten things to settle down a good bit, you're going to need to go to the back of the penitentiary, which is where I am right here. You can sort of see that there is this like shed on the back with like a little ramp that I think is like a trap door. Now from here, what you want to do is use the spawn wagon cheat. And you're not looking for any wagon in particular. You just happen to look for one that will allow you to get up that little ramp, which is what we're trying to do right now. So the wagon that I have spawned in right now, it's sort of like a medium-sized wagon with these seats on the side. This one works perfectly fine. Just experiment with a couple of the different wagons that you can spawn in to see if you can get on top. Essentially, your objective here is to line it up on this like trapdoor ramp, as you guys can see here. And doing that will sort of give you your own ramp to get on top. Now from there, what you want to do is hop onto the back of your wagon, and then hopefully you'll be able to get yourself onto this little platform right here. Now, a couple of things you're going to need to bring before you jump up here, because you might need to grab them from your horse. Number 1 is dynamite. So if you use the infinite ammo cheat, you'll get dynamite automatically, so I didn't have to worry about that. And also number 2, you might want to bring your lantern as well. That's something that a lot of people might want to have for this. So what you want to do once you're up here is you want to place a stick of dynamite right on this column right here. So it's the second one from the right of the actual little building that we're on. Now this isn't required, but I would also recommend drinking a health potion before you do this, just to make sure the dynamite doesn't kill you and you've wasted all your time. So what you want to do is place dynamite onto the floor, and then you want to ignite it. And once you ignite it, you want to go all the way to the right, and you want to just wait by these bricks. And if done correctly, you will ragdoll onto the bricks. And if you do so, you will end up spawning, or the game will like levitate or push you into the Sisika Penitentiary up top. So once you've done that, you can see we are in a restricted area, but we have now entered the Sisika Penitentiary, and we are inside. Now at this point, there are going to be new guards that will consistently attack you. So essentially what you're going to have to do is kill the guards or just avoid them, and then use that decrease wanted level cheat. And doing so will buy you a little bit of freedom to go on and continue exploring. And another thing I should mention here, and you're not going to be saving your game because you're using cheats, but this is going to get you some serious negative honor. Like every time you kill one of these lawmen or guards in here, like it makes your bar go down. It's crazy. So I don't know if that's just because we're in the Sisika Penitentiary or whatnot, but it was insane how fast my wanted level was going down. So this top part up here is pretty cool. It has like cannons and barrels and sandbags. It's kind of neat. It sort of reminds me of like an old war fort, which is kind of what I'm feeling like this penitentiary was maybe reconverted into. However, what we're going to be checking out today, at least if you want to see something extra spooky, you need to go to the center spire. So it's pretty easy to spot. There's like one guard tower in the center of the penitentiary, and that's what we're going to be going to today. And if you go down the little spiral staircase, there's actually one sort of secret level that you can go down. And this is where that creepy thing is going to happen. Now, we've actually talked about this in another video. There's a well in New Austin that you can actually jump down as well that sort of creates this undead nightmare effect on our character. You can see their skin and hair turn gray and white. Their eyes turn bright white too. And when I originally saw this, this was another instance of, okay, is this Rockstar potentially planning for something like Undead Nightmare 2 in the future? And that was really cool when I first saw this. And you guys can see just how demented, and you guys can see just how ghastly it makes Arthur's face here. And this would work with John Marston too. And again, it sort of looks like he's a zombified form of himself, which is really cool. Now, there is something I need to explain here. Unfortunately, we have to take off our tinfoil hats here, as going into places like this and the well don't necessarily mean that Undead Nightmare is coming. Yes, this is spooky, but in reality, it turns out that this is more than likely just a lighting glitch, because this only happens in underground dark areas. So I imagine it has something to do with our characters being underground and light not being able to reach them, or light trying to reach them and it doing something funky with the game. Again, I'm not a game designer or an engineer, so I can't really explain that, but a lot of people have debunked this as just a lighting issue, because it sort of does have an effect on everything on Arthur, not just like his hair and his face. Like you can kind of see it on his guns and his clothing too, which to me indicates that, yeah, it is a lighting thing and less of like an indication that Undead Nightmare is going to be coming. Either way, it still looks awesome. Like, it's so cool to see, and it's really spooky, but I think it's more of a glitch and less of there's a zombie expansion coming to the game soon. Either way, I still think it's pretty neat. Now, after you're done inside of this secret basement, you might notice that there is a door that's sort of right next to you underneath. Well, you actually cannot go inside of that door. I don't know what it would lead to, but it's completely underground underneath the penitentiary. So maybe you guys can take some guesses in the comments down below. Now, after you do that, you are pretty much free to explore the rest of the Sisika Penitentiary. Unfortunately, because Rockstar didn't program a lot in here. In fact, the only other thing I think takes place inside of Sisika is like the Red Dead Online tutorial where you get like broken out of jail. But even then, we don't see a lot. So the first thing you might try and do is go inside all of the buildings. Unfortunately, you cannot do that. All of the doors are locked, so there's no door that you can go inside here. In fact, the only doors that you can go inside are the sort of like watchtowers and the spires at the edges of the building. There's also a wooden gallows as well that looks like it was just recently used, because you guys can see the floor is missing. So maybe there was a hanging inside of the Sisika Penitentiary that happened that we were not supposed to know about, or that just occurred. There's also a lot of supplies and wagons like hay and fruit and stuff like that. Tons of little buildings that you can check out and explore. Overall, this is a really cool place, and it just seems weird that Rockstar chose to utilize this for so few missions in game. It sort of makes me wonder, A, if they have plans for this in the future, or B, if they'll utilize this more in Red Dead Online for potentially adversary mode or showdown series locations like death matches, races, etc. That would actually be pretty cool, a race around the island. I just remembered one other thing as well. Isn't there like a legendary fish location that's in like sort of the swampy waters of the penitentiary's sort of shores? I think that might be the only other reason one would come here in single player outside of these missions, because you can sort of hang out on the shore without getting like attacked by the guards. And then there's obviously like the big fields that all the workers work in. But other than that, that's it. But anyways, that right there is a super simple way in which you can get inside the Sisika Penitentiary in Red Dead Redemption 2. And also how you can check out this like secret undead nightmare basement in there with a door that is locked and we don't know what's inside. So as always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If you feel like you know any of the answers to the mysteries in this video today, let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.